Hi lads and welcome back to Amateur League Football, and this is the first proper competitive one of this season for a video, and it's home to Drungen in the Cup. They're actually 2 leagues below us, but we did hear they were a good team. So into the starting 11, Davey in nets, 3 at the back are Andy, Bailey and Tank. 2 in the middle are Grant, Sandy and Robbie, and the 2 wingers are Nev and Hedgie, and the 2 up top are Brandon and Wally Mick, and then the 3 subs today are Muzz, Hendy and Murchie. So let's get into the game. So Daly in their new away kit, the blue and white one, it's actually quite a nice strip, and Drungen in the kind of purple and blue is a decent strip as well, but Sandy went right through that guy and he actually got injured. Their number 9 will play a big part in this game in the video, but their keeper had a poor kick out, came to Robbie. Robbie then gives up to Wally Mick. Wally Mick takes a touch, tries to go by a man, but the Drungen defender reads him and punts the ball out of play. Now Tank on the ball, gives it to Nev on the wing. Nev looking for an option, plays it forward, but it gets blocked and falls to their number 4. He gets tackled by Grant, but he still holds onto the ball and he plays it through, but Andy gets back well and the danger is gone. But Nev now on the ball again, plays it up to Sandy. Sandy gets gymmed and then he manages to give it to Grant. Grant then plays it forward on the wing to Wally Mick. Wally Mick plays it to Nev. Nev nutmeg number 3, and then it kind of bounces about and it goes out for a Drungen throw in. And Drungen on the ball now, it gives it to, I think that's the number 10, quick feet, and he gets a shot away, but it just went over the bar. No problem for Davey in nets, as their player now on the ball gives it into the number 6. He plays it onto the edge of the box where number 9 was, but he had a first time shot, which once again did not trouble Davey. Brandon now on the ball, he gets by number 3 quite well with a wee Ronaldo shot type thing. He then cuts it back, but it gets blocked, and then number 3 ends up clearing that out of play, and the attack is gone again. But Andy now on the ball, plays it forward to Hedgie. Hedgie plays it back to Andy. Andy's got time on the wing, swings it into back post where Robbie is. He hits it, but he doesn't quite get the contact that he wanted. Drungen now punt the ball forward, Bailey headers it back up, and then number 6 lets it bounce, gets it before Hedgie can. I mean, no offence to him, but like number 6 must have been about 4'5", but he was actually a really good player, as they played it on the wing, they played it into the box, and they go 1-0 up as easy as that. Just slows the ball in the midfield, and then 2 passes and they're in on goal. So Andy now on the ball, gives it to Sandy. Sandy tries to give it back to Andy, but Robbie actually got the ball and a poor touch lost it. They played through number 9. Number 9 goes 1-on-1 with Davey, but it wasn't the best of finishes and pretty simple save for Davey. Then number 9 tries to take on Bailey, but Bailey defends him well, and I think they actually went out for a corner, but the corner didn't come to anything. Wally Mick now pacing forward with his pace as he goes by number 3, and his pass then got blocked, but it came to Robbie. He had a good shot, keeper made a good save, and number 3 ends up clearing it away out of danger. Nev with a shoulder barge, and I mean, I don't want to be biased, but I don't think there was much in that, and Nev got a bit upset about it, and he ended up getting booked for swearing at the ref. But number 10 now on the ball for Drungen, he was being held off by Tank, but then Andy with a great tackle on their winger, and it's not the last of his great tackles in this game, as Brandon has a shot, but number 5 has a really good block in there, and Nev swings in a corner. Tank and Bailey kind of get in each other's way as it comes to number 10, but it is given for half time, so the whistle blows for half time, and Drungen go into the break 1-0 up. Daly still need to improve a bit, as Drungen now in the attack with number 7. He passes it back to number 9, but he misses the shot completely, and if the pass was better to number 7, he would have been in on goal and probably could have scored. But Tank with a header there, and he obviously was a bit frustrated with himself to not score that. But Davey Donaldson, aka Murchie, coming on for Robbie, and Muzza is coming on for Wally Mick. This was about the 55th minute, so changes to be made. Nev now playing the ball forward to Muzz. Muzz getting involved straight away, cuts it back, but it goes just behind Hedgie and no one else can get on the ball. So Hedgie now on the ball again, gives it to Grant. Grant turns with it, gives it in the middle to Murchie. Murchie plays it back to Andy. Andy takes a touch and plays it up the wing to Muzz. Muzz looks for Hedgie on the wing, plays a 1-2 with him, gets it back, hits it first time, and that goes in top bins. Like, it's just the perfect angle. You see just outside, it was kind of outside the foot, top of the foot. It was a brilliant shot and no chance for the keeper. So Andy with another great tackle there, as Murchie on the ball plays it forward, but it gets blocked by Sandy, I think. And now Andy got the ball back, plays it to Muzz. Muzz first time, brilliant ball over to Hedgie. Hedgie takes a touch and then does a wee step over, looking for an option, gives it to Andy. Andy swings it in first time into the box, Drungen clear it out only as far as Davey Donaldson has a shot with his left peg, and that kind of he rolls out of the pitch. But now number 6 on the ball, plays a 1-2 with their number 5. I don't even know what that was, it might have been a roulette or something, but Nev gets the ball and he holds off his man. Number 5 gets the ball off him, and that was a foul against Daly. Maybe Nev got dragged down, I don't know, but Tank with another header from a corner, and that was probably an easier one than the last one, and he hit it wide. But now the ball gets swung into the box, comes to Brandon at the far post, swings it back in first time, comes to Hedgie at the edge of the box, has a volley. He might have scuffed it a bit, but it was still a decent attempt, and it just went by the post. Drungen now on the ball as their player tries to take on Bailey. Bailey then gets it and gives it to Sandy. Sandy plays it forward to Muzz. Muzz holds on to it and gives it out in the left wing where Hedgie is. Hedgie takes a touch and is running forward. He plays it in first time with his left foot into Tank, but Tank couldn't quite get it, and maybe if he went with his big coup he might have got it, I don't know. But Grant now on the ball and on the wing, cuts inside onto his left, passes it back to Sandy. Sandy has a shot, and that was an unlucky attempt there. Drungen now on the ball, number 7, he gets tackled by Andy. Andy drives towards the box with it, gives it into Brandon. Brandon takes a touch for his left, then takes it by one man. He gets lucky with one thing, he holds on to it, goes by number 7 again, cuts it back to Nev, but Nev couldn't quite get the contact or the direction of the shot they wanted. Muzz now with a header from Andy's cross, and it comes back to Brandon. Brandon takes a touch and then just gets kneed in the stomach. I mean, the ball was there to be won, but I mean, he got kneed in the stomach, so it's a free kick. And yeah, I think their number 8 got a yellow card for it. And it is Nev over the free kick. He has a shot, but it's a good save by the keeper. The free kick went round the wall, but Nev whips in a corner and it gets headed out, but it comes back out to Muzz. Muzz runs onto it and then swings it into the box as it goes far post for Brandon. As he chests it down, he gets by one man, gets by another, has a shot, but you can tell he was trying to curl it into that top corner, but he missed by quite a wee bit. As Muzz on the ball now, has a shot, and you can tell he was hoping for a similar outcome as his last shot that went in top bins. And now Drungen on the attack, comes to the number 15, has a shot, and he probably should have done better there. I think that was actually going wide, but he should have at least hit the target. But now they actually had a header from a corner and Nev clears it off the line, and I think that's their number 11 or number 10 on the ball, gets by Sandy, has a shot, but it gets blocked out for another corner, but that corner didn't come to anything. Drungen now in defence with a throw in, Daly trying to hold them up in there so they can't get out, but the Drungen player throws it to their keeper, the keeper punts it forward, it goes to Tank plays it forward first time, the Drungen defender chests it down for Brandon to control quite easily, and then the Drungen defender holds Brandon back, and it's a free kick in a similar position as the last one. Nev tries to go with a different corner, but he didn't quite pick that one out, as the Drungen defender now on the ball, but he loses it out to Muzz with a poor touch. Muzz plays it into the back post where Hedgie is, and Hedgie had a good header, but it was a bit central as Brandon then gets wiped out with a tackle. And Drungen now coming forward with the attack. Bailey tackles the man and he's still in the ball. Bailey then misses the second tackle. Number 9 has it, plays it forward on the wing. Their player then holds on to it, passes it way back to their defender. I think this is number 5 on the ball, plays it forward up to number 10. He plays it, gets it back at the edge of the box, and he probably should have hit the target there as he skies the shot. But Andy now on the ball, plays it forward, not really anyone there, but Muzz headers it onto Hedgie on the wing. Hedgie runs onto it, he passes it back to Muzz. Muzz then takes a touch with his left and fakes to swing it in, then goes back on the outside, gets by his man, swings it in, and it comes to the edge of the box where Sandy is. It then comes to Nev, he lays it off to Murchie at the edge of the box, he lines up a shot, but number 6 gets a good tackle in there, and Drungen now on the counter attack. He then plays a poor pass, but really if you thought that was poor, check out this dummy from Muzz. I mean, there's just nobody there. I guess he expected Hedgie to be there, but he wasn't there. As Drungen now on the ball, the player plays it forward, but Murchie is there to chest it down, go by a man, gives it into Hedgie. Hedgie then gets tackled, but Murchie keeps the pressure on, comes to Grant, but number 6 nips in front of him and he plays it forward. Number 9 leaves it, he then gets played one-on-one. There's like 4 players trying to get back, and the only option other than conceding is to get a man sent off, and Bailey took that hit and he will be getting sent off, and no arguments really, as the player was one-on-one. He was just about to pull the trigger and Bailey took him out. So down to 10 men Daly are, as Davey has a good save from the free kick from number 7, and that is full time. So if Bailey didn't do that, Daly would be out of the cup by now, as that was pretty much the last kick of the ball. So Drungen now on the attack, first half of extra time, as Tank wins the ball back off one of their players. Tank then plays it on to Sandy. Sandy then looks for the return of Tank's run. He just under hits it, but Brandon gets there in front of his man, gets the ball, and a dodgy tackle from the Drungan defender. He might have gotten the ball, but he did kind of jump in. I don't know if that would have been a penalty or not, but it wasn't. And onto the game we go, as Andy, who did have a bit of beef with number 9, absolutely wiped him out. Number 10, I think, played it to number 12, and he missed a 1-on-1. He was actually offside as Davy goes into a wee shoving match with him. So yeah, the game was getting pretty tense, as yeah, it would in a cup game, Scottish amateur football, extra time, it's going to get quite dirty and intense. But Hedgie gets played through 1-on-1, and he couldn't quite get it out of his feet to get the shot away, and the Drungan defender done well to get back, and Sandy almost had a good shot there into the top bins, but it was just a bit too high. And now the keeper for Drungan plays it forward, but Grant went up for the header, comes to their number 10, he tries to play it forward, but Grant gets a block in, and now it comes to their number 3, he plays it forward to their number 12. He then dodges the tackle doesn't really dodge, he just gets taken out by Grant. Grant tried to take him out, but he never actually took him out. Number 6 with the shot, and Davy had a simple save from that as he punts it forward. Muzz has a really good touch, goes by number 3, or not number 3, number 3 still on him, but he went by number 10, and they eventually got the ball off Muzz by crowding him out, and Nev with the header gives it into Sandy. Sandy lays it off to Grant. Grant plays it forward first time to Hedgie. Hedgie has it, he's looking for options in the box, there's not really much. He's trying to get it onto his right foot, but he passes it back to Brandon. Brandon has a touch, has a shot with his left, and don't think that there was calls for a handball there on number 3, but I think his hand was by his side. Even if it did hit his hand, I'm not sure about that, but it wasn't given. And Drungan now on the attack with number 6, but it did get broken down by Murchie, who plays it forward to Muzz. Muzz then plays it into the box to Hedgie. Hedgie is there and puts it into the roof of the net and puts Daly 2-1 in the lead. I think this is still the first half of extra time, and yeah, that was a well worked goal. Good ball by Murchie, good ball by Muzz, and good finish by Hedgie. I think he was actually trying to miss it, but he managed to keep it just under the crossbar, and that is half time. Hendy now coming on for Brandon, and Hendy, well, let's just see what he does in the video. So he crosses in a corner, you know, as you do. Grant at the back post with a header, and the keeper for Drungan plays it forward, but here comes Big Sandy with the hoof out the park. That's his specialty. As the Drungan player now on the ball, he loses out to Muzz with a bit of help from Sandy, and I'm not even going to commentate on this bit because I'll just start laughing. So yeah.
Well done, Henry.
I could watch that all day. But onto the game, and we're still laughing about this 10 minutes after. But Hendy now on the ball has a shot, or cuts that cross box, but the keeper had a decent save there as Muzz gets by his man and he's still holding on to it. Comes to Sandy. Sandy plays it forward to Hendy. And Hendy plays it forward into the box, not forward, but crosses into the box. Hedgie's there, and I'm actually sorry, Sandy, but my camera battery ran out, and Daly went 3-1. Sandy scored a 1-on-1 in the last minute. My camera battery ran out. This is with my phone, but yeah, I couldn't do anything about it. My battery ran out, and I said sorry to Sandy. But this is the end of the video, and for the next minute, I'm just gonna let the next clip roll out constantly.